I am live from the sunny climes of Ma'at Mountain here on the western coast of the mother, father continent of Africa. And I'm so excited to be here on this very, very special day because today is actually a very special day um, on two different terms, on a cosmic level as well as on a like very localized level for me personally and for us, for the global African family in particular. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you exactly what's going on because the reason why I'm so excited is because there's a particular transit that's happening right now that's very, very, very significant. And this celestial movement that is happening is a conjunction between Sabu Septa or Septet, Ast Septet, which we may commonly known as Sirius, the dog star, the dark star, um, and our sun. So, ancestrally speaking, which is very significant because today, as we go into the reading for the July moon cycle and the energy that is going to be very volcanic, um, this moon cycle, there's, the peak of the reading when I do these Merkut or pyramid readings is characterized by the fire principle, which is Sirius. It is Sabu Septa, and it's very significant because ancestrally, and even if we look back to certain traditions, certain nations that still carry that Kemetic tradition, such as the Dogon people who exist in Mali, this star system, this sun of our sun, is what is considered to be our origin point. It is what some people interpret as our spiritual sun, whereas the Ra, the sun that we see every day that rises on the eastern horizon, is considered to be our physical sun, the sun of our flesh, of our body, and of this material experience that we're having on this planet in particular. But there is a energy that fuels our sun that is Sirius or Septet. And this conjunction is very significant because it marks the rise of Sirius in the evening sky. So we will begin to see a star in the sky, as well as Ast, which is where Sirius is and represents that energy in terms of our original African mythology and our classical civilization. So this reading is all based on Kemetic science, and the sacred science is very, very, very significant for the moment that we're in right now. Is very prophetic. I cannot even, say anything to really grasp the significance of the moment that we are existing in right now. And it's very, very, very important for us all to be really tuned into our lives because it's really what it's all about. It's about life. It's about living your life and paying attention to your life in the way that Netter or nature, the divine within you, is guiding you within yourself, within your life, and the relationships and connections that you're aligning with in your life. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you the entire spread. As I said, this is a Merkut reading, so I'm giving you the energy of this July moon cycle, which I do every moon cycle. I'm going to share publicly the first 3 cards today with you. Those of you who are members of the Tahuti Mott Militia are going to get the entire full reading. Welcome, Sister Felicia. Glad to have you here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show the full reading because it is important for us to see the whole spectrum, and then it's gonna be important for us to kind of have a Sankofa moment where we look back to come into where we're going energetically, because we're in a continuum. So the energy that was present in the previous moon cycle, which was characterized by Geb, loyalty, a lot of emphasis on loyalty, a lot of emphasis on honoring our bodies, honoring our planet, honoring nature, and obviously with the summer solstice that arrived and everything energetically, it was definitely aligned with that. So as we're coming forward with that wisdom that we've gained from our bodies, from our planetary connections, our ecosystem, we're coming into this moon cycle, which is characterized by fire. And the way that I've defined it through the oracle that has come through is protection for healing. There's a lot of emphasis on protection, particularly feminine protection. So protection on the receptive side, Because we're opening up to a lot of different energies, we have to be very, very careful within our healing process that we're not opening way or allowing access points to us energetically from things that are not here to serve our highest self, to serve our healing, to serve our liberation, our restoration, and the mission that we are all here on this journey for. So a lot of discernment and a lot of powerful fire energy. So I'm just going to go ahead and show the reading. So just give me a second. Okay. So this is the full Merkut reading. As I said, if anyone is interested in getting a personal reading, I am doing readings now. You can definitely click the link in the bio and find more information about that, or reach out to me, via email or however, and we can figure out the details of that. But the 10 card reading follows this particular flow of energy. It starts with the fire principle, like I said, Sirius, Septet, Sabu Septa, this Ast energy up here. This is the fire. The fire is the guiding principle. It brings us into the air, the magical mental body, the Ba. Then it comes down into the water realm. This third tier here is the water realm. This is the emotional body, the Ka. And then we come down into Geb, the physical material world. And this is what's happening in our actual physical reality. Okay, so it becomes very important to see everything within the reading from the scope of the entire reading, even though today publicly what I'm just going to focus on is the top 3 cards, which is going to be the energy that really is guiding things from that mental dimension. And it is very significant because everything starts up here, right? It starts through the thought forms vibrationally, and then we begin to sense it with our sensory body, our Ka, and then we begin to actually create it and experience it within our lives. So the flow of energy is always one that is very, patient. It's a process for the energy to come forward and unfold into our lives. So keep that in mind, because a lot of times we are really programmed into like fast, we want to see things right now, instant gratification. But that's not how energy moves. Energy just flows. And energy grows where energy flows. So it's very important to direct your energy exactly where you need it. And yeah, so I guess to begin with, like I said, I'm going to go into the first 3 cards. And the first card of the reading, remember, it's very important for you to exercise your intuition, okay? So if you're watching this on the replay, you can go ahead and just pause it, right? But I will give you a chance to just actually process the symbolism of the cards. So this is the guiding principle. It's an Akhat. Akhat is the family of fire. This is not your traditional tarot deck. This is going by Kemetic or ancient African houses, right? So this is the house or the family of fire. The card is a 3, and the energy is Sekemet, the lioness, okay? 3 being a creative principle, a creative force. You can go ahead and look at the symbolism that you see there. Very, very significant symbolism here. We have the ring of fire. We have Septet sitting on the throne, holding the Ankh. She has the solar disc with the cobra overhead, symbolizing feminine intuition and divine guidance from solar creative energy. You have the Kemetic, which is very significant. You have the spiraling serpent, right, representing healing, which we still see in medicine today. Just like we see Ma'at, we see the judgment skills that they're still using today. So they're using certain aspects of our symbolism, even though it's corrupted. But it's very interesting because the card that's in the center of the emotional body of the Ka in this reading is Kemetic, right? So this serpent energy and just the continuum of cycles, when we think about things in the context of eternity. So this is the guiding principle. Now, Sekemet is fire, just pure fire. This is like your pure feminine. This is that Leo energy. So the reason why this is very beautiful in its particular location right now is because I mentioned today is one of those very powerful and significant days because we have that conjunction happening with our sun and Sirius. And energetically speaking, we have the rising of Sirius, which is going to be at its peak when we enter into Sekemet's gateway, which is the Lion's Gate that many people know about, which numerologically most people focus on that energy because it's 8-8, right? August 8th. But it's very significant to take into consideration that it's a rising energy, right? So from this point onward, we're rising into that energy. So everything that's happening in your life right now is going to be very significant. You really want to take note. I highly encourage journaling and, just meditation and really attention, like giving your life attention. Like, what are the messages that are coming through? What is very clear? What feels really good for you right now? What does not feel good for you right now? And it's really important for you to pay attention to exactly what that is, because your life is what's speaking to you. That's what you have to trust. That's why last moon cycle, everything was on focusing on trusting yourself, right? We were all being ushered to trust ourselves in some way, to honor ourselves in some way, to honor nature, to honor our divinity, to honor this experience that we're having, this blessing that we're having in a very particular way. So the ways that these things are coming up for you, whatever came up for you, particularly during that eclipse season, the emotional healing that's been happening. Remember, everything is happening within continuum. What direction is your life directing you towards? Because when we deal with this Ast Septet energy, right? Ast is the great mother womb. So it's about birthing. You want to really be clear on the vision that you have for yourself right now, because it is fertile. Everything is fertile right now. So the seeds that you sow right now are going to grow. And you want to take that care and attention to be able to be with yourself. And when we talk about this guiding principle and this guiding energy during this moon cycle being Sekemet, the lioness energy, the way that we just remember, this is energy. We're not dealing with deities, right? Because a lot of people have that conception of the Neteru. When you are thinking about these Neteru, they're not gods and goddesses. So let's clear that away right now. These are forces of nature. So we're dealing with the fiery feminine energy, the lioness energy. It's characterized by the lioness. So just think of what that means energetically, the behavior of the lioness, right? What is that ferocity? And how is that ferocity protective? Because a lot of times, we're manipulated into characterizing and judging certain aspects of energy in a particular way. But we have to know that everything has its proper place. And within this energy that we're in right now, you're going to have to protect your energy. Now, Sekemet is not just fiery protection in that context, but it's like the protection. She's love. She's right? Because we're talking about a feminine energy, not a person, not a thing, not an entity, but just the energy. This is the energy of lust, of love, of passion, right? So in that context, just think about like that energy being present for us. I mean, there's many ways we can tune into it specifically, whether that be through firework, candle work, right? Meditating on candles, just tuning into the energy of the fire. Remember, fire is warm. Sekemet, you have another feline aspect of this fiery energy that's characterized by Bastet, which is the feline with the cat, right? And that energy is more sensual, right? She's a warmth, but she's like kind of like the spring, right? And then you have Sekemet, and she's like August, like for real. Like she's like, it's hot, like I'm gonna burn you. So she purges to cleanse, right? So just think about that particular aspect of your own energy on the receptive side, right? Because remember, even if you're a man, you still have this Sekemet energy, right? These energies are all indwelling within us, right? The fire, she is strength. She is strength. This is magical protection, okay? So energetically, this is the guiding principle of the energy that we're going to be experiencing during this moon cycle. And this is very significant. This moon cycle has a lot of significant celestial transits and conjunctions that are happening. And as our ancestors always said, as above, so below. So the way it may show up in our lives, you never know which side you're going to be on, but it is going to be kind of that eruptive energy, right? Think of the fire of the volcano. Think of that. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to just have that charge to it. So you definitely want to be very protective of yourself during this moon cycle, so that you can concentrate on the healing process that you're in right now, right? Because we're all healing, and you want to be able to really be centered in your healing process and allow this fiery energy within you to protect you and allow for that, right? That conviction, that strength, that courage of Sekemet. She purges. She's like, she burns the unrighteous. Like, that's what Sekemet's all about. So, but she also protects the righteous. So it's all about that karmic reality, because it depends on what it is that you're choosing, right? The choices that you're making determine on what end of the spectrum you're going to be on. Are you going to be protected, or are you going to be the one getting burned? Okay. So I'll leave it at that. And then as we come down, right, the second layer, as I said, is the air element. So this is the Ba, the magical mental body. The Ba is a symbol that symbolizes this energy of the mental body through the bird, like the physical form of the bird with the human head, like in the Meduneta or the hieroglyphs. That's how the Ba is written. And it just shows the astral reality, right? The ability for our body to take flight. And when we come into the first card that's on the left side, this is the energy that's still having an influence on us now mentally. And when we go on the card on the right side, that's kind of the energy that's going to continue to move us forward into the next moon cycle that we enter into. Because I do these readings in fire ritual at the new moon. So this is going to be valid throughout the July moon cycle that will be completing around the 28th, depending on where you're located. And then we enter into a new moon cycle that's going to bring us into August. But this like end of July, August energy is going to be very, you may be in for a lot of surprises. Like, it's just an energy that's very big. Let's just say that. So it depends, however we experience the energy. It depends on the people that you're around, yourself, how you embody the energy, etc. So the next card is a 6. Both of the next two cards are 6s. 6s are numerologically very like that nurturing energy. You think of 6, think of the 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons that we have within carbon, right? It is that carbon, that womb energy, right? That cosmic blackness, the Kum, right? So when we talked about Sekemet, if we look at the Kemet, right? The Kem in there is the root of chemistry. It is the root of carbon. Everything in our chemical reality, our natural organic chemical reality, is carbon. Everything is carbon. So within the scope of that, the 6 represents that nurturing energy. So both of the cards on this mental realm are in this 6 nurturing energy. So just keep that in mind energetically. Like, it is important to honor that energy and align with that energy and really be nurturing to yourself mentally. Because we can have a tendency, especially coming out of Tahuti season, to still be overactive within the mental space, while the energies are really still trying to usher us into Kepera, this water energy that we're currently in right now, to allow for that healing, to allow for that feeling, that emotional nourishment. And that emotional nourishment can rise into the mind space as well. So we have to allow for that. Now, this card is in the family of Ra, the family of the sun. It is Geb, Nut, and Shu. It's not just one element in this card. Now, these 3 energies, you can go ahead and look at them. I'm actually going to turn it over so you can actually see the celestial body of Nut over the body of Geb, the earthly body, the masculine, and then you have Shu separating or connecting the two. Now, in this card in particular, it is representing separation. The divinatory meaning of this card is separation. And you can intuit, right? If you're watching this, you can pause it, really intuit for yourself. What are the things that are coming up for you, still influencing mentally? It's separation, and it's the necessity for independent action, because it's the representation of the importance for things to come back together, right? And because everything is everything and all is one, there was a significant aspect of our creative process that allowed for distinctions to be made between the different elements. So when we talk about Neter, the full totality of the divine, we're talking about one force and one energy that we're all a part of, that is within us all, that we breathe in, right? This nature, this cosmic source. It's just, there's no words, right? It's just everything and nothing. That energy, our ancestors didn't just leave it at that. We expanded and distinguished each element of Neter, of nature. That's why we say Ra when we're talking about the sun. When we say Shu, we're talking about the air and the atmosphere. When we say Tefnut, we're talking about the moisture. When we say Nu, we're talking about the primordial waters, right? There's all these elements and aspects. Remember, this is a scientific language. It's a scientific spirituality. And when we think about the science of it, each individual aspect has a specific element or aspect or attribution that we want to honor. So it does represent the distinguishment. So when we talk about neterus, we're talking about the individual aspects of the divine, right? The unique forces that make up the divine totality. And when we're talking about it in this context, this separation is necessary for the union to happen on a higher plane of existence. Okay? So, independent action. So, think about your minds, right? Thinking for yourself. A lot of times we're, our thoughts are being controlled by so many other things, whether they're things that we're consuming, media, people who are around us who are influencing us, that we're allowing to have access and influence over our minds, which is very significant because our minds create our reality, our thoughts create our reality. So that's what's still influencing us right now, because we're kind of seeing that, right? That independence that we've gained through honoring our unique individual essence of our particular vessel that we're in, right? Of our bodies, like I said, that we did in June. This energy is continuing to influence our thoughts, and the importance of continuing to have that independence within yourself. Okay, and then it moves us into the next energy, which is a primordial energy, Tepeaun, family of Tepeaun. Like I said, it's 6 again, still that nurturing energy. And this is Kekut. Kekut symbolized by that serpent energy. I want you to go ahead and allow yourself to just intuit, whatever comes up for you about this energy. It's important to note that there isn't a negative connotation to the serpent energies in general. You have different aspects of serpent energy representing different attributes of nature, some of which can be quote unquote negative and some are not, but this is definitely a neutral one, right? So you see this feminine body with the mask of a serpent representing that serpent energy. In this particular context, it is primordial, and it does represent a glimmering of light, right? Within the darkness. It's talking about hope through the darkness, perseverance, right? Perseverance leading us into a new perception of the world. So as we're all going through this healing process, the energy that's present for us right now is a very primordial energy. It's an energy that's existed before existence, and it's taking us back into the true, pure essence of our soul and what we're here for. And it's just very important to think of this energy in that context, because we think of that like slithering energy of the serpent and just like how it's moving through the darkness. The serpent has a particular agility, and remember, we're in the underworld. We're in the afterlife, we're in the duat, we're in the chaos. And as the chaos continues to implode within itself, we have to be able to navigate that darkness. So it is about that perseverance and just remaining steadfast and being strong mentally in order to allow for ourselves to continue to move forward into this healing process. Now, because I'm not doing the rest of the cards in the reading, I do want to share that there are some other protective energies that are continuing to move in to this moon cycle, particularly emotionally. We have the womb energy of Nut, right? The night, that night energy that's been nurturing us. It's a very protective energy. You definitely want to tap into anything that you feel deeply connected to, that you feel is very your energy. I also want to encourage you to like tap into wherever you were tapping in the previous moon cycle, to create that sovereignty within yourself and to honor your body, because whatever that is, like that sovereignty that you have in yourself is what you can use to declare yourself, and ultimately that's what we need. We don't need anything outside of us. You have everything that you need inside of you. So you can take the authority and sovereignty within yourself to declare and clear your energy. You can protect yourself as you're going through this healing process, because the outcome of this moon cycle is definitely healing. And I just want to offer in closing an exercise that I think we all need to be doing rhythmically. And you can do this in whatever way you feel comfortable. And this exercise is just like, think of it as like an inhale and an exhale, right? Just a conscious clearing, but remember that the subtle energy that you're able to activate within yourself is very, very powerful. You control your electromagnetic field, your force field around your body. So, what I want you to intentionally do in whatever way feels right to you is to intentionally clear away and shake off and remove any energy that is not yours, or any energy that's not serving your healing process or your courage, whatever it is that you are intending to create for yourself, right? Whatever it is that you need, because only you really know, right, what you're ready for and what is aligning for you. You want to be able to clear that energy, because people are constantly sending us energy. If you're online, you're posting videos, posting pictures, whatever, that's constant energy coming your way. So you do want to begin to repel that energy, reflect that energy back to you. You could think of it like your whole aura is a mirror, and anything that comes to you is reflecting back out. But you first want to clear that energy, and then you want to retrieve all your energy back. You want to call all your energy back to you, right? So that you can fill those voids of that space, because we're also constantly pouring out energy, and we also sometimes have these subconscious leaks and these gaps and these portals open, these cords and connections with people that allow them to have access to our energy. So that's the spiritual maintenance that you can do on a regular basis, that's going to really be essential during this time. Because remember, as I said, like everything is going to start to get more and more chaotic. And as you take authority and sovereignty over yourself, the other energies come to test you. So you really have to be, centered within yourself. And this is the offering that I just want to give you, to remind you that you have the power and the authority over your vessel and over your spiritual experience that you're having in this life and in this body. And you want to take that authority and that sovereignty and wield it righteously and protect yourself. Okay, protect yourself as you're going through your healing process. So yeah, I guess I will leave it at that for now. Again, if you're interested in getting this full reading, if you're not a member of the Tehuti Ma'at militia, by joining the militia at any rank, even if you want to just support the work we're doing at whatever level, on the kingdom rank, that's the lowest rank that we have, and a great entry point, right? Just to come in and to support the work, and also to get access to the full reading and to get access to other exclusive offerings that we have, exclusive gatherings. But you also will get the Moonly report. So you'll get the July report that will have all the different programming and things that we have going on, as well as different resources. So consider joining. The link is in the bio. You can follow us on Instagram. If you're not familiar with us, Tehuti Ma'at is the umbrella organization that houses High Tops and Heels as a creative communications agency. We also have another cooperative venture known as Coins and Karis. That's actually where you can book the reading if you're interested in doing a personal reading with me, where I will go through this energy reading in whatever context that you desire. And allow the ritual work to guide the pull of the cards, because remember, it's not really about the spiritual tool or the cards themselves. It's actually about the sacred science that I'm able to pull forward from the symbolism of the different aspects of nature and the way that everything is working together, whether that be astrologically, your natal chart, and all of that. So all of that's taken into consideration when you do book a reading, if you choose to. And yeah, I hope that you have a very powerful and empowering experience during this moon cycle, because, as I said, this energy can be very explosive, and it's important to um, be able to activate that and use that in your life in the way that can actually empower you, bring that power within you. So yeah, take care, travel light, and I will see you next time. Power.